6 things you should never say to your partner if you truly love them. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends on the journey of love and partnership, let me begin with this truth. Words build worlds. You can use them to build a kingdom of peace in your relationship, or you can use them to ignite a fire that burns everything to the ground. In the heat of emotion, words come easily, especially when we feel disappointed, betrayed, hurt, misunderstood, or neglected. But what we say in those moments doesn't disappear. It lodges into the heart, the memory, and sometimes into the identity of the person you are supposed to love. Today, I'm going to share with you 6 powerful things you must never say to your partner and why avoiding these can transform your relationship from a battleground into a blessing. This talk is not just for those in romantic relationships, married or dating. It's also for those preparing to love right, those healing from love gone wrong, and those who still believe in love's sacred power. Let's begin. 1. You always, or you never. You always disappoint me. You never try to understand me. You always act selfish. Sound familiar? These are the words we use when we're trying to be heard, but all we really do is create walls. When you say you always or you never, you don't just criticize a moment, you condemn a person. You remove their ability to ever do better. You turn a one-time event into a permanent label. Imagine someone saying to you, "You never succeed," or "You always mess up." You'd probably feel attacked, discouraged, even hopeless. That's what your partner feels when you use these phrases. A healthier alternative: try specific feedback instead of sweeping judgment. Say, "I felt hurt when this happened. I would really appreciate it if you helped out more around the house." Speak with clarity, not condemnation. Remember, you're on the same team. Don't throw bombs into your own camp, too. You're just like your mother or father. This one's subtle but deadly. It's often said in moments of exasperation. You're arguing, you're frustrated, and suddenly you say, "You're just like your father, always walking away when it gets tough." Or, "You're acting just like your mother, overreacting again." And boom, you've just opened a wound that might never close. Why is this so dangerous? Because it attacks not just behavior, but roots. You tie their identity to something they might have spent years trying to heal from. Many people carry childhood trauma, unspoken pain, or a longing to be better than the past they come from. When you weaponize that pain, you don't just lose the argument, you lose trust. If you truly love someone, never use their past against them. Love doesn't dig up graves, it plants new seeds. Instead say, "This behavior hurts me, and I'd like us to work on it together." Now you're correcting with care, not comparing with cruelty. 3. I don't need you. At first glance, this may sound like a strength. I'm independent. I'm self-sufficient. I don't need anyone. But when said in a relationship, this becomes emotional sabotage. Listen closely. There's a difference between needing someone to complete you and needing someone to complement you. One is desperation. The other is partnership. Saying "I don't need you" in a moment of anger is an attempt to gain power through detachment. You try to make the other person feel disposable, replaceable, unwanted. But true love isn't about power, it's about presence. If your partner has been showing up, helping you, supporting you, caring for you, and then hears "I don't need you," what message are you sending? That their sacrifices were meaningless. Is their love invalid? The truth is, we all need someone. It's not weakness, it's wiring. So instead of saying, "I don't need you," try, "I'm struggling right now, and I don't want to push you away. I need your support." That's vulnerability. And vulnerability is the birthplace of connection. 4. That's just who I am, deal with it. Oh, how many relationships have died on the altar of pride? This phrase is dangerous because it refuses to grow. It says, "Don't expect me to change, even if it's hurting you." But growth is the proof of love. Think of a plant in a pot. It bends toward the light. It adjusts. It stretches so it can thrive.
Love is the same. It requires flexibility, effort, and intention.
If your partner says, "It hurts when you shut down and don't talk," and you respond, "That's just how I am," what you're really saying is, "Your feelings don't matter as much as my habits." No one expects perfection, but they do deserve progress. Instead of shutting down, try saying, "I know I've been that way for a while, but I'm willing to learn how to do better." That's not weakness. That's strength wrapped in humility. And that humility will carry your relationship farther than pride ever could. 5. You're too sensitive. Let's talk about emotional intelligence. When your partner brings up how something made them feel, and you say, "You're too sensitive," you shut down the conversation before it even starts. You invalidate their experience. You call their wound a weakness.
Let me ask you this. How would you feel if someone told you your pain was an overreaction?
Would it make you feel safe, heard, loved? Probably not. We have to remember that sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's information. It tells you what matters to your partner. It tells you where they hurt. It tells you how to love them better. Instead of dismissing their emotions, embrace curiosity. Say, "Can you help me understand why this affects you so much?" Now you're becoming emotionally available. And that is the oxygen love needs to breathe. 6. I wish I had never met you. This is perhaps the most heartbreaking phrase of all. Said in a moment of rage, it cuts deep. And even if you apologize later, some part of your partner might never forget those words. Why? Because you're not just saying, "I'm mad at you." You're saying, "Your existence in my life was a mistake." And that's not something love can easily recover from. Even in pain, even in disappointment, even in betrayal, love should still have boundaries. You may not always like the version of your partner standing in front of you, but to wish them gone entirely is to erase all the good moments too. And remember this, conflict is temporary, but words have permanence. Instead of saying, "I wish I had never met you," try, "I'm really hurting right now, and I need space to process, but I don't want to say something I'll regret." That shows maturity. That shows control. That shows love with a backbone. Bonus insight: how to speak when emotions are high. So now that you know what not to say, what should you do instead? Here's a simple rule. Pause, process, then proceed. Could you pause before you respond in anger? Even 5 seconds can stop a 5-year regret. Process your feelings first. Journal, pray, breathe, talk to a friend. Walk away for a moment, whatever helps you regulate. Proceed with love, not with heat, not with blame, with love. And remember, silence can be a gift. You don't always have to reply in the moment. Maturity is learning that not every emotion requires a reaction. Real talk. Why this matters: you might be thinking that they hurt me too. They say things too. Why should I be the one watching my words? And I get it. It feels unfair. But let me remind you, you are responsible for the energy you bring into the relationship. Being the bigger person isn't a burden, it's a superpower. It shows leadership. It shows emotional maturity. It shows love that rises above ego. You're not just speaking to your partner's ears, you're speaking to their heart, their history, and sometimes even their healing. Be careful. Be kind. Be conscious. Final word. Love deserves better. Every strong relationship is built on 3 invisible pillars. 1. Respect. Without it, love feels unsafe. 2. Communication. Without it, love feels confusing. 3. Grace. Without it, love feels exhausting. The words you choose every day are either watering those pillars or tearing them down. Speak life. Speak peace. Speak with purpose. Because at the end of the day, relationships don't die from lack of love. They die from a lack of understanding. And understanding begins when we decide to listen more, attack less, and speak with honor, even in anger. Let your words be tools, not weapons. Let your voice be a balm, not a bomb. And let your love be the kind that makes your partner feel safe, seen, and supported, not just on the good days, but especially on the hard ones. Thank you.